Hello, everybody, and welcome to episode 29 of Through the Mess. We are down one mana today, however, we send her our best as she deals with life. Life happens, and we will hopefully see her next week. Anyone have anything they want to announce? Am I forgetting anything?
Happy winter solstice.
Happy winter solstice. For
I
those
mean,
of you
we're almost there.
right? For those of you who are not in the Colorado area, I hope you're staying warm because we will not be tonight. However, negative 15 should be a breeze. It should be fine. Yeah.
I've been in colder.
I've
That's
seen
fine.
I've seen negative 55 wind chill, and I'm like, I don't think I need to get the mail that bad.
It's actually warm out here today. It's been really, really mild. We had a big cold snap, like code orange level cold snap in the country for about 2 weeks, and now it's really mild and not bad.
Level orange seems like
Not
it would
bad.
be warm because
No, level orange is very bad. That's when you don't make unnecessary journeys.
fair enough.
Yeah.
Speaking
Code yellow
of,
even.
Speaking of unnecessary journeys, should we do a quick recap of last week? It wasn't necessarily unnecessary. You got answers. As you headed into the sewers below Paradon, taking Brother Man to the Marikith Queen, the ruler of the land of Timor. She was very grateful for you, kind of creepily so, for bringing Brother Man back to her. And as he went off into another chamber, she had some discussion with you, explained to you that she was not, in fact, behind the removal of the jawbone, freeing the jackal wares in the city above. Essentially, she made it sound like someone's been playing you somewhere along the line of your information. And so the group left, were heading back and tried to take a rest. Essentially, you woke up as Lyra was having a dream, and I believe one of you caught Lilith just as it looked like Lilith might want to, just put Lyra out of one of their miseries, and then Lilith kind of snapped out of it. It was kind of an awkward moment, and I believe it was Dizzy that noticed that the water was starting to just kind of come over the lip of the area that you were trying to take your rest on. And that's where we ended.
Mm-hmm.
Does that sound right?
It does.
Right.
Did I forget
Yeah.
anything?
No.
You forgot the part where we totally won and we're getting a parade.
Right?
I think. Yeah, I remember that part pretty distinctly. We were having a parade in our honor for having saved the day.
And that's
There's
definitely
lobster roll,
right.
cakes. Yes.
There's cakes that look like lobster rolls.
Oh my god, yes.
And
Perfect.
Twiggy, you wake up and there's like still the taste of lobster roll in your mouth, and you open your eyes and like there's a bit of sewer water that's just mixed with ash and chunks of burned building and other things that's coming like rolling towards you. What do you all do?
I feel like we should go up top and see what the damage report is, I think.
Okay, that sounds good. And maybe see the magistrate while we're up there.
Okay.
And also figure out how he gave us, like, where the bad information came from in the first place.
Okay.
Like, it was the magistrate? Was it someone he worked for? We don't know, but we should figure that out.
Okay. And go ahead.
No, it could have been the magistrate who is actually a doppelganging the doppelganger, who, like, an Inception level doppelgang. A gang of doppels. Or, at the very least, we should tell
What is a group of
What is what?
doppelgangers called?
An inception.
I like it. I like it.
Yeah. Because I mean, can a doppelganger a doppelganger? And also,
don't
we should
know.
probably tell the Church
just
of
don't know.
Man that Brother Man is still on sabbatical, and
Perhaps
might have a new
permanently.
job.
Yeah,
Well,
right.
he's probably got now. Like, it's not like a sabbatical anymore. He's probably like on a missionary trip to the Maricath. We should probably let them know too.
Okay. So, do you want to try and figure out why the water's rising and still rest here? Do you want to try and rest elsewhere? Because I know you're all kind of a little rough, but it seems like something is causing the water to rise here. You could try and find another location. You do remember, essentially in this room, there is what would look like a drain. It just appears to maybe not be draining any longer.
Yeah, I'd be okay with going off to try and find why it's not draining. I mean, either way. How do you guys feel? Do you want to rest
Yeah.
still?
I mean, maybe not here, but maybe kind of figure out what's going on and then take a rest.
Okay. I'm good with that.
Okay.
Do we know where the drains were prior? Like the direction that the fluids went previously to
So
know?
the room that you're in kind of seemed like a convergence of 4 different tunnels where essentially, so you were kind of heading downhill, and like this is kind of where all of that culminates. And then there was a drain that went in the middle of the room. There was like a kind of a bowl that had a drain in the bottom, like a bowl-shaped concave, and that was draining the water into it. You know, as you're all sitting there discussing, Lyra, who is still, at this point, she just has like a little nub of the horn left. It seems like she's kind of calmed down, and the spirit that's affecting her isn't manifesting as much as it has been the last few hours. And so she goes over to the edge and she's kind of looking down into the water, and you hear her whispering to it, and not something new. This has happened actually fairly recently, where she just kind of talks to the water. And she kind of tilts her head and she's like, there's something down there.
What do you mean?
Something's plugging the drain. I can't.
Do we call a plumber?
Yeah, does anyone have Roto-Rooter's number?
Get just a bunch of Drano. We'll just pour it everywhere, all over the place.
I cast Drano.
Yeah.
I feel like it would normally be Lyra who jumps right in to figure this one out. You know what? Lilith, balls to the wall. She's gonna
I mean, if you want, Lyra is absolutely down to do that if Lilith doesn't want to get in there. As long as you have Lyra's back, she says.
Yeah, I'll totally have her back. I just know that she's a water lady. She loves it.
Yeah.
She's gonna figure this stuff out. She loves clean water. She wants to make it clean.
Yeah, she actually doesn't seem to be too worried about this water, whereas if it were like sewer water, although she does kind of grab some chunks of burned wood and throws them off onto the other rise that's across the tunnel from you, and she slowly settles herself in and disappears under the top, and you kind of lose sight of her because there is kind of a scum on the top that is essentially ash and debris, burnt debris that are floating. And after a few moments, she comes back up and she like flips her hair, wipes her eyes. She's like, "No, I'm gonna need somebody's help to pull whatever it is out. It's kind of jammed in there."
Lilith is absolutely going to help her.
Okay.
With her brute strength.
So as you go down and she grabs your hand and kind of guides you to it, puts your hand around this thing. It feels, it has like a texture of cloth to it, and it's kind of spongy, or like it has resistance. It feels tubular, like it's somewhat long. Make an athletics check.
Oh boy.
Nice start. All right, so you pull and you can feel her next to you as you pull, and you're both trying to wrench it out, and there's like this kind of grating noise below you, and then it comes free. It's just kind of floating there. It doesn't really seem to have any buoyancy. What do you want to do with it?
I mean, pull it all the way out and kind of set it up alongside somewhere. Can I tell if it's something that's like dangerous, or it's just a weird object that I don't recognize?
It's really make an intelligence check for me. While you're doing that, Dizzy and Twiggy, are you doing anything while they are under the water?
I'm just going to watch and see, keep an eye on the surroundings, make sure that nothing isn't sneaking up on us or anything like that.
Okay. Go ahead and make a perception check.
Intelligence is amazing right now.
Yeah, that's a fantastic roll to balance out the really good roll. Dizzy, looking around, you don't see anything. There's just like chunks of debris and stuff floating in, but nothing like that seems alive or like it has any kind of danger to you. Twiggy, are you up to anything, or?
I mean, if Lyra's underwater, not Lyra, Lilith is underwater. That's my light source. So I'm gonna chill on the platform.
Okay.
And grumble about there not being a parade for us down here, because clearly there should be one right now down here. Don't they know anything?
Don't they
about
know
anything? Don't they even know?
So Dizzy, as you're watching, there's some sudden movement and a splash as Lilith and Lyra like kind of heave this object out, and it's pretty obvious right away what it is to you, and there's kind of this clank and then screeching of metal on stone as a guard's body is like pushed onto the platform across from you, and the dented up breastplate that they're wearing just screeches on the stone. And Lilith, as you come out of the water and like clear your eyes of the kind of ashy, sooty water, you can see that there is a body. You just pulled a body out of the drain. It looks like the breastplate was essentially crammed down in there and had gotten stuck.
The water draining now, at least?
Yeah. Essentially, as you are coming up, you can see it's already dropping down from the level it was.
This guard, does he look just like a normal guard? What do the injuries look like?
You do. So he has one leg instead of two. So that is pretty obvious. There weren't like two legs to grab hold of. And now like that you see that, it makes more sense in your head. You're like, oh, okay. Both arms are pretty chewed up. And most of his face is gone. So it's kind of hard to tell like who this person was, but definitely wearing the Paradon Guard outfit. And you had seen guards fighting with the Jackal Wares before you hightailed it back to Timor. So if you were to guess, it looks like this person has been gnawed upon.
Why would they stuff his body in the drain?
I think we should find a safe place to rest for everybody. So if the water's going down, could we, in theory, stay in the same place and rest?
I'm not going to answer that one for you. That's a you guys question.
Yeah,
That's amazing.
we can probably rest here. Maybe have guard or like night watch or something.
I mean, we have a guard now, so.
That's a good point. That's a good point.
If
I mean,
only
you're not wrong, but
if only we had a necromancer.
We could have an
Oh
necromancer.
wait, good.
So you're gonna try and do a rest here, or rather go back to the rest you were already doing?
Yeah, just to make sure everybody's in top form for this next bit.
Okay. So as you hunker back down, it takes a little bit to fall back asleep, but in turns you do manage to get a long rest. So if you want to click over on that long rest button on D&D Beyond, go for it. Your night is kind of disturbed by the sounds of the drain as like more chunks of wood and other objects kind of start to get built up over there and starts gurgling and all that, but it never clogs the way that it had with the fellow stuck down it. Once you wake, what would you like to do?
Would like to cast Protection from Good and Evil on Lyra.
Okay.
Just because she concerns me and don't know what's going on with her, but this last time seemed pretty bad.
Totally fair. All right. Now I just need to remember what the symbol is that I put on her token, and it should be fine. Okay. So you wake, you recite the prayer that gives this protection to Lyra. Dizzy, what do you do?
Let's see. I guess I could cast dancing lights for Twiggy.
Okay. So it illuminates the area, and the lights kind of hovering around really shine off the breastplate and put some reflections on the wall, making the fellow more gruesome. However, it does help light the area. Twiggy, what are you up to?
Eating breakfast.
Okay.
We got rations that I'm going to eat. You know, those are 2 pounds each. I keep forgetting they're 2 pounds each. And I'm not 2 pounds.
Are you saying you couldn't eat 2 pounds of food?
Oh, no, I could. I'm just looking at the sheet, and they're saying 2 pounds. And I'm like, well, I mean, but, you know, he's like this.
Throughout the game, I've just made the assumption that your stuff is all you-sized, and therefore does not necessarily weigh what other people's stuff weighs.
Oh, it's 2 pounds. Yeah, he's got to have like probably a huge backpack and an extra dimensional space that he's not telling anybody about. So many rations. Nom, 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 nom.
All right, so I take it the plan is to head to the surface. And then I believe I heard you wanted to go to, or you had chatted about in the chat that you wanted to head to Alphonse Calvet's manse.
Yeah.
Yeah?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay.
Let's see how he's doing and help.
So
Well, he's
you know,
probably fighting.
So you know that the sewers, there are exits throughout the city. You're not totally sure where you are right now, but do you want to exit nearby? Do you want to try and figure out the closest exit to the manse, or what's your plan to get there?
I wonder if the sewers are safer than the above ground. So maybe we should take the sewers to the magistrate if we know. Can we predict kind of already like how far we have to go
Why
to
don't you
get to the
make a group survival check? If you would, please. I am going to try and find Lyra's character sheet.
Ow.
Well, I am of no use.
Oh. Is that Dizzy that just rolled?
Yep, I got the 1.
Oh.
Let's see.
Why did it not roll for me?
Did that roll for Lyra? It did.
That roll for
Slick.
Lyra. Oh, maybe I need the plug-in.
Oh, yeah.
There's a new computer, and I'm all like, why isn't it connecting, man?
Did it roll on D&D Beyond for you?
Did you guys see the roll? Does it pop up through you guys on that as well?
I didn't see it, but I wasn't looking, or I wasn't there yet.
Well, got my first one was a 3.
Okay.
As I was trying to get this thing to go, so I also had a crit fail.
Excellent. So you're not really sure how far away this area doesn't have any signs as far as what district you're under. However, it does seem to be a little more well kept than the Blackchapel area, which is kind of where you had gone to. The tunnel that led you to Timor was that direction. So you're probably either across the river or you might be under King's Landing. Is that right? King's Landing? Now I forgot. We'll go with yes. For some reason, I'm not getting your audio coming through, Adela. No worries, no worries. Twiggy and Dizzy, what would you like to do?
I think I'm just gonna follow behind Lilith because I don't know what I'm doing apparently with my lack of survival instincts.
So Lilith, are you good to pop up and figure out where you are? All right, and Twiggy, what are you up to?
Well, I mean, with a natural 1, probably trying to conspire with Dizzy on the most appropriate entry song for our emergence from underground, because maybe that's why there was battle. Is because when you start off with Discord, you end up with Discord. I mean, these things cleared themselves up pretty quickly anyway. You just gotta have the right entrance.
So when you start with harmony, you end in harmony. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah.
Nice.
100%.
I like that.
That's how it's done.
Perfect. All right. So Lilith, you. Oh, go ahead.
I feel like we should wait to see the magistrate before we throw a big old party. Like, we should be like, huzzah, you're alive. Yeah.
See, she's even happy
show
about
the
it,
party,
right?
I mean, we should even be throwing the party. The magistrate should be throwing the party. You're right, of course, in this regard. I mean, that is subclause 47C. An optional subclause, but one that is definitely appropriate in this particular moment.
So as Twiggy is explaining the rules to you, you come to a iron ladder that's the rungs are bolted into the wall, and Lilith just slowly kind of goes up, lifts the manhole cover slightly and peers out. You are, in fact, under the district that you would like to be in. There's a lot of smoke in the air. there's light, so it's day of some time. You're not really sure what time it is because you don't see the sun, nor really any kind of signs of where the sun is to give you an idea of what time of day it is. Are you climbing out? Thumbs up or down? Up. All right, so Lilith quietly moves the manhole cover aside and steps out. Lilith, you see that the buildings around you are blackened. Some are more like shelled out, more burnt, and just kind of the remaining pillars and stuff standing, whereas some have maintained most of their structure, but you don't see any signs of people. And Lyra's going to follow you out. Who's going to follow Lyra out? I saw Twiggy
100%.
nod first. Okay, so we got Twiggy flies up after Lyra, and then Dizzy comes climbing out. The two of you also notice that this area is kind of burned out. You don't see any people. You don't hear any fighting. What would you like to do?
I mean, it's the path that we'll be taking. Will that like go past our super awesome house? That's clearly ours now.
You're not really sure where you are compared to the house.
Wow.
Or the mansion.
Well, there's screams and lamentation of the children.
You don't hear
Screams
any.
and lamentation of the what's the barbarian quote? Conan quote. So, screams and lamentations of the women.
Yeah.
Is that the one?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So,
you don't hear
clearly no
any.
battle.
Yeah, you don't hear any screams nor lamentations.
So does it look like this is kind of where the fighting started, or?
That's a good question. Why don't we do a investigation? So you kind of look around.
0.
You look around and you're trying to kind of gauge. You definitely see some signs of battle. There are some nicks in the wood, as though somebody was fighting and missed somebody and hit it with their sword. But for the most part, it's you can't really tell if the fighting started here, but it definitely got here. And these buildings were part of the destruction. You're not really sure how far that spreads yet. Where would you like to go?
Should we just head straight to the magistrates?
Okay. Do you want to try and figure out where the magistrate is? All right. So the group kind of moves through these burned out streets, and it does seem like a lot of the buildings have been destroyed. You see a few that are still mostly intact, although they do have fire damage. You don't see any signs of people. No one's like staring out their curtains at you. But those that have fire damage that are still standing, their doors are closed. And you manage to make it to, you kind of go around for a bit, trying to decide which way is which, but there's no, again, there's no sun to decide which, or to help you figure out which direction is which or whatever. And you finally come to an intersection that reminds you of the night that you jumped the wall and got back in here. And so you head out and you find that main thoroughfare. In the main thoroughfare, you see there are guards walking around. And you notice that many of the buildings down the road have been burnt, either to the ground or just kind of shelled out. And if you want to get to the magistrates, you go that way. If you want to get to your house, the one that you were... the one that Twiggy announced was for you, it would be...
Yeah, the one we lived in for the past 300 years. Clearly, we've been there for
right,
forever.
Right. It is just over that way.
Well, magistrate's more important. I mean, the house is clearly fine because it's our house. No one would dare touch it. But we should go probably talk to the magistrate. Is it like Parliament Hill like on fire? Is that place on fire?
It's actually really hard to tell. You can't see very far. There is like a haze that's kind of rolling through the streets, probably smoke that's still from fires that are still going out. It's you can only see maybe a couple 100 feet down the road at any given moment.
And no movement. Like there's no people on the street.
You do see guards moving around, but you don't see any people, like citizens.
We gotta talk to them. They probably know a thing or two.
Are you down with that? You want to go find the guards?
We don't really have a good track record with the guards.
That is also fair.
But maybe
Hey, we
now
talked to
they'll
the
know
guards.
us.
Yeah, maybe they're humbled a little bit. They're humbled and they'll be
should
like,
be.
hey, it's these guys, these wonderful heroes. Let's talk to them.
Okay, so you want to head over to that. There's like a duo that are passing by here shortly.
Oh, sure.
Yeah.
Okay. As you step out, the guards both look at you. What do you say?
Doing the magistrate's work, and we've come back to this. What has happened? How can we help?
You notice that their hands like went to their sword hilts, but they haven't drawn their weapons. And as they look at you, and then they look at one another, they release their weapons. Oh, you're the group that the magistrate was working with, hey? Oh, he's been wondering if you survived the mayhem. So why don't you head down there? It's probably worried about you or something.
Then I think I'm okay with heading down to the magistrate.
Why don't we lead you that way? It's there's still some havoc running around. You never know if you need help.
Can I
Okay.
make an insight check? 'Cause I don't know if I trust these
Sure.
guys.
What is it about them that you are feeling?
I'm just wondering if they're maybe disguised jackal bears or something.
As you're looking at them, there is like a weird expression, particularly even before they started talking and they kind of glanced at one another. It was like they knew you already, and this guy's like just a little what's the word I'm looking for? Not on the level. Insincere. He seems a little insincere.
Okay. So I'm just gonna tell him that I will decline his offer and that we can go on our own.
Oh, are you sure? Because we can. I'm more than happy. We're just walking up and down the street. We don't mind.
I'm sure.
They glance at each other again. Okay. And they're going to walk past in the direction that they were heading originally.
Okay.
Anything else, or do you want to head down the road?
Head down the road.
Okay. I am going to, first of all, move you to the map. So as you're heading down the way, you notice that the space between houses starts to grow, and there's like the areas that have the larger buildings, the larger homes, and more of an estate around them. Several of those are actually still standing, and they do have fire damage, although a few are gutted by fire. You notice right over there where you expected it to be, the magistrate's manse is standing. It does have some fire damage, particularly on the left-hand side of it, which you've kind of been assuming is south. It's the area that's pointing towards the docks. And you notice that there are several guards milling about. As you get closer, you notice the gates. He has the iron fence around it, and the gates are closed. And from the gates are hung two, or rather attached, it looks like they're tied to the gates, are two humanoid forms. They have kind of a thick, rubbery purple hide, although one of them seems to be like vibrating. It's kind of hard to tell what this person's like form really looks like. You can definitely tell there's like that purpley flesh, but then it like shifts and it looks like a taller guy with a big beard, and then it shifts and he's like a shorter woman with curly red hair, and then it shifts again and it's an older woman that has like a long hair sticking out of her nose and scraggly white and gray hair. It seems like that doppelganger. You obviously recognize what it is, Twiggy. And Dizzy, you're pretty sure because you saw the magistrate shift before, so you would know what a doppelganger looks like. So it seems like this doppelganger is having a hard time holding its form, and there's just another one that's hanging on the other gate that is not moving. And it seems like there are some guards just kind of milling about, and they notice you head up, but they don't say anything.
So are they like bound to the gate, or like impaled on the gate?
They are bound to the gate.
Bound to the gate. One's not moving and one's glitching.
Yeah. And the one that's not moving obviously has, as you look closer, has wounds in it. You're not sure if it's alive or not. And the one that's glitching doesn't seem to be conscious.
So would we be able to tell if they were like the jackalware versions of the doppelgangers, or are they just, is it not?
Why don't you do a group, do a group check. You can either roll for yourself, you can roll Arcana or Nature or History.
I'm not good at any of those things.
That's all right, because as a group, you did fantastic. As you're looking at it, you don't think. You're pretty sure they are doppelgangers. You don't think that they're the jackalwares, like pretending to be doppelgangers. Although you're really not sure why that one's glitching. That's a little beyond your role there.
And the doppelgangers were the ones that we were sided with, so...
Correct.
Okay.
That is what the magistrate actually... Oh, sorry, go ahead.
Oh, so we feel just super confident then. We're good.
Right. Yeah, the magistrate was a doppelganger, you knew. And you had seen, I know Lyra and Lilith had seen one of the jackalwares that were following you, although not up close. So you're... Yeah, that's the info you have. I can't think of anything else that you would have gleaned.
Well, the jackalwares didn't want to talk either.
I guess I'll go up and set the glitching one free.
Okay. As you get close, you notice that there are like chains holding them up. There's one that goes around. They're kind of like their midriff, their chest, like just under the armpit, their chests. Their hands are also bound to the bars, and their feet are bound to the bars. It kind of wraps around. It seems like it's one chain, and as you look, you do notice that there is a lock that you could try and pick. But as you kind of start messing with it, the guards are like, "What are you doing?"
Why are these doppelgangers chained up?
It's what the magistrate had us do.
But the magistrate... I don't think the magistrate would want that.
We're just following the orders that the magistrate gave us.
I am going to pick the lock.
As you are doing so, the one who talked to you says, why don't you go let the magistrate know that there's some people here. I think these are the ones he's been watching for. And this fellow over on the grass is going to run up towards the house. Why don't you do a sleight of hand check or thieves tools check for me? And while this is happening, Twiggy, what are you up to?
Not really sure what to do with these doppelgangers. But I'm going to don't know. I think I'm going to inspect this one that's not moving.
Okay. Do you have a scent thing? You don't have like
no.
Okay, I just want to make sure.
I mean, we do like to smell lovely things in the Feywild, but no, scent is not really.
I mean, these fellows do not smell lovely whatsoever. They smell like blood and.
But I
grossness.
do have magic awareness. Let's see here. So open awareness, concentrated magic. Another location of any spell or magic item within 60 feet of me that's not behind total cover. So we'll do just a general open to magical things in the area within 60 feet.
2 questions. What? So there was the you can sense magical items that. What was the last bit?
See here, no location of any spell or magical item within 60 feet that isn't behind total cover.
Okay, and the second question is, how long does that last for?
It's instantaneous.
Interesting. So you are checking this guy out. It doesn't seem like there is anything magical that is not upon your group's possession. Or within your possession, sorry.
Okay. Any spells? Any active spells?
I don't think... Lyra has protection from good and evil on.
And Lyra's sword probably would be the dagger, whatever.
Her dagger. The amulet she got. I know Lilith has that big great sword that you got from the first house. I don't. Dizzy, do you have any magic items?
I don't think so, aside from the ear piece that I got.
Oh yeah, the one you lifted in the beginning.
Yeah, the ear horn of hearing.
That's right. Oh, and Lyra has that ersatz eye too. But nothing is unexpected. There's nothing that's been planted on you or seems weird, Twiggy.
Any active spells?
I don't think so. Yeah, there's nothing from anyone else, so unless the group has anything besides the protection from good and evil, nope.
Alright, so the guards don't have anything magical on them or have any spells. And the doppelgangers neither.
Nope.
They check out. Totally normal.
I'm going to
My
say
very powerful magic.
I'm going to say that there is a residue on the one who's glitching. Almost like there has been something within that one's possession that left a mark on it.
Like an arcane mark?
Yeah, like kind of a residue. Like it's an effect that the item has had on that doppelganger for a long time. The item is not currently on them, but it does appear that it has been under the effect of magic for a while.
The one that's glitching.
Yeah.
Is there a sense of where that smell is coming from? Or, well, the sense is coming from?
It seems. Wait. This what smell?
Well, the residue, the sense of residue, where they're coming from. Is it strong just on the body in general?
Yeah,
or?
just kind of on the person. Yeah. Yeah.
Dizzy, does this guy smell weird to you?
I mean, would I notice?
I mean, they smell like injury that's kind of festered for the last several hours. Not super long, but I mean, it seems like these people have been injured and then hung out here for a while, and so just the open air and stuff, there's definitely like some infection going on. But other than that, you don't notice anything.
Yeah, they just smell like, I guess, festering wounds. That's all I can really smell.
Hey Lilith, can you make this one talk?
You know, I'm not totally certain. Let me see if that's something that I have right now. Lilith is going to, do a little bit of a prayer. And let's see. I'm not totally certain what I need for this.
Are you trying to heal one of them? You could just do like cure wounds or healing word or something like that.
Sure, why not? I was thinking something slightly different, but we'll go ahead and cure wounds.
Okay.
Then.
Go ahead and roll that for me. And are you doing the one who is glitching out or the other one?
Let's do the glitching out one.
Okay.
And it looks like it went through twice. So
Gotcha.
pick whichever one you want. They're pretty much the same.
Okay. Awesome. Good to know. So you head over. Whoop, and Lyra's gonna kind of... You notice that she has like her daggers, one in each hand, and she's just like eyeing the guards through the bars, keeping an eye out and watching every so often up and down the street and across the street. She hasn't said anything as far as seeing anything yet, and so as you cast the spell, the doppelganger opens its eyes slowly, and they're just these yellow orbs and that shift into like blue eyes, and then they shift into green eyes that are slightly different, and then brown eyes as it continues to seem to be unable to hold its shape. But it does look around at all of you and then looks at its hands. And Dizzy, this is about the time that you get the lock undone. As you do so, go ahead and make a perception check. So you see the guard heading over your way, and he like raises his foot to like step on the chain to like kind of keep it there.
Can I block his foot with?
Sure.
My
Why don't we
rapier
do
or something?
you want to do like do an acrobatics or a athletics, and we'll do it versus theirs.
Oh no.
Oh, I mean, it could be worse. So let's see. Nope, it's not. Like
Certainly is not.
you're like struggling to get your hand out from under the lock real quick, and then you go to do it, but his foot's already like on it, and he kind of leans on it. I'm pretty sure I told you to just leave them be. The magistrate's going to be out in a moment. Why don't you just wait? Why don't you just wait until he gets out here?
I feel like we want to try and talk to the thing. Lilith will just kind of like fashion herself in front of this guy and whisper to Dizzy, just like, why don't you go talk to him? And Lilith just puts out her hand on the guard's shoulder and is like,
so the guard's on the
all
other
right.
side of the of the fence.
Okay. Lilith is just gonna say, don't worry, we've got this, it's okay, and just leave it at that. Nodding positive.
He continues to like look at he like stops looking at Dizzy and looks up at you and just is kind of staring at you, but he doesn't raise his foot off the chain. Dizzy, what are you doing?
I'm gonna look back at Lilith. How should we proceed? Should we just forcefully do this, or should we wait for the magistrate?
I think the magistrate, in his way, told us that we need to help him, and that, comes with a little bit of permission to do things that would help him. So this, I feel, would somehow help him. So I think we have permission to do this. I think we should just do it. So Lilith is going to walk over to the chain and just yank it.
Okay.
With one hand and put her other hand up and say, no, the magistrate wanted this help and we are helping, and yank it out from under his foot.
Go ahead and make an athletics check.
Oh boy.
Not bad. So as you like go up and say that, the guard is like, the magistrate's the one who hung them out here to begin with. Hey, what are you doing? And you just like pull it, and it hasn't come off of him because it's like kind of snaked around, but you've loosened it, and the part that he was standing on like comes flying out. It was like part of the end, and the other end comes flying out. So both of the ends are now on your side, and there's definitely some like give as the doppelganger kind of doesn't fall to the ground, but sags down a bit and has some movement to kind of, it seems to kind of like try to stand up. It's leaning against the fence somewhat. What do you do?
I think Dizzy should start interrogating them, because you're so charismatic and people trust you probably more than they trust me.
Who am I interrogating? The doppelgangers?
Yeah.
Yeah, I can do that.
So do you want to help the doppelganger get like completely free of the chain and like move him away and talk to him, or are you just gonna like?
Yeah.
Okay. As you're doing so, the doppelganger has this kind of like, you get it's like a look of confusion on their face, because as they're like glitching between forms, you could definitely like see the confusion in their face. They're normal. They're like actual form. It doesn't really have the expressions on it, but the others that it wears does. And you're working to get it out. Are you going to ask it anything while that's happening, or are you going to wait till you get further away?
I'll just ask, like, how did you get why are you captured like this?
Its voice sounding like, several voices at the same time that are like constantly modulating and shifting, says, I was betrayed. And it does seem like it's still pretty wounded. It's having a hard time moving and stuff, but as you get the chains off, it moves, kind of stumbles forward with you. While this is all going on, Twiggy, you do notice that the guard that is the one that stepped on the chain has now motioned to the other one, who's come over to the gate and seems to be messing with the latch to open it. What do you do?
Well, last time I encountered guards with gates, pretty sure they weren't allowed to open gates.
It was a whole kerfuffle.
It was a whole kerfuffle. I'm going to have to remind them that they seem to have forgotten their station. That we have authorization beyond their clearance, and they need to stand down.
What do you think people call fairies that would be similar to in Willow, how they call people peck? What's
Oh, I don't know. I mean, because I'm not really sure what sort of fey creatures are in this realm. I mean, surely the unseelie sort. Definitely no one as nearly beautiful and as noble as myself, of course. I don't know. I have no idea what they would call
well, they say we don't answer to your kind
specimen
here,
myself.
and then they throw that word out.
Doesn't like that immediately.
You definitely did not have this kind of reaction from the guards previously. They were very helpful, and you don't recognize these guards. They were very helpful. They were very respectful.
I don't like these guys. They don't seem right.
Do you even know who we are?
Oh, we know.
Do you?
And you see the latch open on the gate as the one with the unconscious doppelganger starts to swing forward.
So you don't need a reminder of our supremacy, our incredible arcane reach, our bombastic control of the elements.
Nice.
Yeah, thank you.
Real quick, Dizzy, where are you leading the shifting doppelganger to?
Probably towards our house, I guess.
Okay. So let's say you've gotten here. As the gate comes swinging open, there's a slight noise of it, but you remember that the gates were very well taken care of. It looks like maybe there was a little damage to the gate done, and so that's why it's making the noise. But the other doppelganger essentially just gets sandwiched between the fence and the gate as they open it and step out.
I think Lilith needs to shake some windows behind them just to kind of unnerve them a little bit. So she's going to throw out her Thum and just kind of some windows and doors behind them open and close.
So as you prepare to open your Thum, as you prepare to do your Thum, the door actually opens, and Alphonse, the magistrate, walks out with the guard that went back there, and just casually walks down the little like walkway towards you all.
I don't like the new guards. I don't. I'm gonna ask, Dizzy and Twiggy, what do you guys think?
Yeah, I don't like them either, and I'm gonna ask Alphonse to come out here so we can talk.
Oh, I'm so glad that you've all made it safely back here. I've been worried about you. Why don't you...
What does he have? Does he have anything with him?
As far as...
Anything he's brought with him?
He has a guard next to him. It looks like he's wearing a very fine set of clothing.
So he doesn't have a platter of cakes.
He's not bringing food.
A bowl of honey.
No.
He's not greeted us with a song or a dance. That is not Alphonse. Because, if you recall, Alphonse is versed in the rites. From his mouth, he said so.
He
and
knows
from his actions,
hospitality.
yes, from his
Alphonse
actions, he has shown it.
No hospitality.
I feel like we're at like an episode of NCIS, and all of a sudden we're doing like the flashback of all the scenes where Alphonse is like being very kind and welcoming to you all, offering you the various, foods as such would be required in the Feywild.
Yep. And he has done no such thing. It's not even a bowl of honey. Nothing. No.
Why don't you all come in? It's been, a couple of days since I've seen you, right? And it's probably for the best if you were to come in and just rest.
We have somewhere to rest, and we're gonna do that now.
He kind of like gestures at the smoking city around you. He's like, "Are you sure you have some place to rest?"
I am.
Yeah, we're okay. Thank you so much.
Well, I'm sorry. I'm afraid you cannot take that person with you.
So we want to know what they did, and honestly, what's going on here.
Oh, well, they are a terrible enemy of the state, of the city, of the very people that live here, and it's time that they were cast down.
That doesn't sound like something Alphonse would say. I am going to... I will cast Vicious Mockery.
Okay. Hold, please.
Love it.
What is your DC? 13? Okay.
Can I tap him with some guidance on that?
Guidance actually doesn't help with that.
Doesn't do it. Never mind.
Yeah,
Nope, it
but
doesn't.
that's all right because Alphonse failed miserably.
Yes.
And you can see, like, he squints his eyes in pain. This is not the one where you would have to run away, correct? That's Dissonant Whispers?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so there's definitely, like, a moment where he winces, and then he looks at you and reaches into his tunic and pulls out a knife. That was rude.
Well, what you said was rude.
Any last moment things before I say the magic words?
Yeah, so we're actually claiming this doppelganger as a necessary component of our investigation, and theory is, of course, the law of acquisition, and because we've claimed it now under the fog of war, and you did not say no, you may not, and touch your nose and turn around 3 times. I'm very sorry, but you have to forfeit this doppelganger.
I'm pretty sure that's how it works.
Mhm.
He just seems to be ignoring you completely.
How dare!
And so if you could all click on your tokens
Mhm.
and then roll initiative, that would be perfect. Awesome, awesome, awesome. Let me see here. Sorry, just adding the people to the thing. All right, so
Oh, I see
Alphonse, what's that?
See a cat?
What about a cat?
Fluffy. I see a cat.
Oh, I see now. Sorry, I wasn't on
cat.
the video, and now I do.
It's so fluffy.
So much floof.
How much floof?
All right, so Alphonse has reached into his jacket and pulled out a knife. Dizzy, like that not Dizzy, sorry, Twiggy, that ability that you have isn't like ongoing, right? It's something you have to like think about.
Yeah, it's
Okay.
it's an action, I think. I'm all like, what kind of magic is happening right now?
Gotcha.
Yeah, it's you concentrated magic till the end of your next turn. Yeah, so any spell or magic item within 60 feet.
Well, Lilith just immediately goes into Twilight Sanctuary for everybody. As soon as she sees that knife, she's like, no.
Okay. I just remember that the gates are open, so you can move through them. Alphonse moves up to Lilith, and as he walks forward, he reaches into the other side of his jacket and pulls out what looks like a jawbone. It's very ancient looking, kind of decrepit, and so it looks like he's dual wielding. He's got a dagger in one and the jawbone in the other. And I have to double check something. Sorry. He's gonna take a swipe at you.
An absolute putz. He sent us off to look for the jawbone, yet he has it. Did you have it this whole time?
You're so
How are we
mean.
ever to believe you? Ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous.
Didn't even have honey cakes. Definitely not him.
There's rude. Rude.
Mhm.
I broke things. Sorry.
Womp womp.
Womp womp.
Well, the outside noise has stopped, so the band must have stopped.
All right. So he takes a swipe at you, and I'm pretty sure a 7. Yeah. So a 7 is gonna miss you, correct? All right, so yeah, he swipes at you with that dagger. There's like this kind of sickly feeling in your stomach as it like passes by you.
Don't like it, don't want it. Lilith is gonna grab her.
Oh, sorry, not quite your turn yet, but soon.
Yeah.
This
Don't like it.
guard moves forward in between Lilith and Twiggy. This one is going to come over here, and this one is going to go there. As they all kind of rush up on you, they have weapons drawn and are going to attack. So starting with the top one on Twiggy, 12 plus. Does a 16 hit Twiggy?
It does not.
Okay. On Lilith, does a 13 misses, correct?
Yeah.
And does a 14 hit Lyra? Let's find out. Just misses. She dodges out of the way. And now we come to Dizzy's turn. When I said it was almost your turn, you're actually last in the turn order. Sorry. All right, so Dizzy, what do you do?
I'll move there and I will swing with my rapier.
Okay.
Oh,
That's
yeah.
going to hit.
Okay.
Nice.
So I guess that's 11?
11, okay. Anything else?
No, that's it.
Okay. So you move over there. You stab him with your rapier. Definitely was not expecting it. He actually kind of snarls at you in response. There's like a yip, and then he snarls. Twiggy, what do you do?
On Rajay. Well, then again, it's okay, buddy.
Oh, are there noises?
Oh yeah, it's going full force right now. Then again, you're okay. Come here. It's okay. Oh, poor baby. Sorry. All right. So a 5. 5 does a. All right. So whenever a creature hits me, they'll take a D6 points of force damage. All right. So Twiggy lights up like a Christmas tree.
Okay.
And it's going to skewer the guy in front of him. Yeah, why not? Let's do that.
Right? Why not?
Yeah, why not? Yeah. I doubt I hit with a 10,
The
though.
10 is going to miss.
And then I'll flit over here.
Okay.
And in fact, actually, no, let's bait him. Does he want to hit me?
He will take a swipe at you.
Yeah, take it.
Does a 20 hit you?
Indeed it does.
All right, so you are going to take... Are you having non-magical damage right now?
Barbarians!
So then after your reduction, you'll take 3 slashing.
Great, and he will take 1 point of force. Zap!
Does not look impressed with that.
Well, you know, it's something.
All right. Anything else?
That's it. Wow, it is loud.
All right, Lilith. Now it's your turn. Sorry about that.
No, sorry. Just jumping the gun. Just jumping that gun. She's gonna bust out her spiritual weapon
Okay.
and take a swipe.
keep forgetting to just make you a spirit weapon character that you can just drop in. Spirit weapon, bloop. And I'm going to make this so you can control it. Hang on one second, then you can put it where you would like to have it.
Well,
controlled by...
That roll wasn't amazing, so... I don't know.
All right, you should be able to move that glowing hammer to wherever you'd like it. However, definitely going to miss. Whiff.
Yep. Boo.
Anything else? That's a bonus action to summon that.
Ooh. Okay. So then... Let's see. What does Lilith want to do? What does she want to do? Let's go ahead and... Fairy Fire. We're going to cast Fairy Fire.
Okay. Where would you like to cast it? So essentially you'll either be able to hit these two or these two without hitting yourself.
Let's do...
You could also technically hit these two. You would just also be lighting up this doppelganger and Dizzy.
Yeah, let's do these two.
Okay. So we need a couple of dexterity saves, right?
Yeah.
13 is what they're going for. So we've got a... That's not what I needed. I'm pretty sure that fails. Let me just double check. So we have a 12. And both of them fail.
Sweet.
Let's
So now
do...
you're reminded. How does this go?
So now attacks against them have advantage.
Okay. All right. And I guess that's going to be it for me right now.
I really want to know what these abilities are that they named the tokens after, because, like, overdrive. What's overdrive?
They drive over a cliff.
Right? What color is your fairy fire?
Let's make it purple.
Purple. Okay, so the purple token, or the purple dots have fairy fire on them, just so everyone else knows. Oh, and technically this, we'll put that there because it can't be in the same space as this fellow. Okay, so they've been fairy fired, you thwacked, or you tried to thwack the one. Anything else?
I think that's all I've got. So
All right.
I'm good.
So Alphonse, like, looks down at himself and he's glowing and he just glares back at you, and he's going to try and take 2 attacks at you this time, one with the jawbone and one with the dagger.
What a jerk.
What? Oh, crit.
Ow.
Oh. So a crit and a 23?
Yeah, that's gonna... Yeah.
All right.
Though I do have temporary hit points, so...
Okay, so this will start coming off of that, and then if it eats through them, then you'll go into your other hit points. Let me just double check here. Okay, so
1d6.
that first one is 6. So you're going to take 9 damage from the first one.
Okay.
And then the second one that isn't the crit. Oh, no, sorry. Add 2 to the first one.
Okay.
And then you'll take 4 from the second attack. So 11, 15 total.
Okay.
All right.
Gotcha.
And
right.
you notice that... Actually, sorry, that's it. That's all he does. The guard next to you, however, is going to turn towards you and attempt to attack you. is going to fumble, drops his sword. This one moves out to here and is going to attempt to attack Lyra. And is going to hit Lyra. I need to be keeping track of Lyra's hit points. And she's going to take 7 slashing. Meanwhile, the one that's in between Dizzy and Lyra, he's kind of focusing or trying to split his focus between the two of you, but he's going to swing at Dizzy. But a 7, I believe.
Yeah, that misses.
Sorry, 9, but still misses.
Mm-hmm.
All right. I believe that is all of their things. So what do you do in response, Dizzy?
So is the doppelganger behind me, like, still, like, unconscious or whatever?
It is, yep.
Okay. I'll just swing at the guard between Lyra and myself.
Okay.
Well, I'm assuming that misses.
Not as effective as the first one. Now that it is kind of like aware of how you move, it dodges out of the way. Anything else?
I will give Bardic Inspiration to Lilith.
Okay. All right, so then that brings us to Twiggy.
Okay, so let's see here. We're just gonna flit here. Stab that guy.
Okay.
Everybody gets a stab. Roll the thing. Huh. Rolled a
Rolling the thing.
print. Why aren't you printing? Oh, there you go. 14.
14 will hit.
Well, he's got fairy fire in it too. So
That is
would help.
true. Oh no,
This
not
one
the
here?
one, not the one that he's attacking. Sorry,
Oh, not that.
but
one.
the 14 does hit though.
He will take 8.
Excellent.
He is welcome to do a thing as I continue on my flight, my murderous flight.
Sure, he will take a swing at you. Is gonna miss with a 7.
Lame.
Anything
Should've
at the
hit
end
me.
of your flight there?
Tell him that he needs to work on his aim, and fly over this direction.
Okay.
That's
As you
it.
fly by the doppelgangers next to you, you can see that they're having a hard time maintaining kind of consciousness, but it doesn't seem like they're bleeding out or anything. They've just like really been hurt. He's trying to like kind of stagger away, and he's gonna make it to about there. Lilith.
Busting out that spiritual weapon again.
Yeah.
The 20 will definitely hit. Are you hitting Alphonse or the guard?
Who looks the most alive? Alphonse. I'll hit Alphonse.
Okay. And why don't you did hit, but you could technically roll a crit.
Ah.
So roll it one more time because you have advantage on that swing. No crit, but definitely worth trying. All right, so
Yeah.
cracks into Alphonse's side. You hear this like sound of hammer on flesh, and I'm gonna math in my head for this many points. Excellent. All right, and then your action.
Right, and then let's turn around and
Bright eyes.
go toward the other guy, and I'm just gonna hit him with my good old mace.
Okay. That will hit.
That will hit, and that will hit for that much.
Excellent. That one also yipes a bit, snarls at you. Anything else?
You guys really need some manners. You don't know anything about hospitality, and really you should be listening to Twiggy and taking his advice.
That's right.
Perfect. All right, so Alphonse glares at the glowing hammer and moves there and is going to take a couple of swings at you again.
Ah, what a goober.
Misses with the dagger, but gets a crit with the jawbone. Interesting. I need you to make a wisdom saving throw.
Oh boy. Whiz.
Oh no.
Oh boy.
You do have
Oh,
bardic
no.
inspiration, but I
You
don't know.
do
if
have-
it'll
Oh,
help.
yeah. I would save it. What is your die size? Dizzy?
It's a D6.
D6. It wouldn't matter.
Yeah, that's what I figured, but
So you're gonna
Boy.
take 13 necrotic damage,
My God.
and then you disappear.
Uh-oh.
Whereas you were just standing in the street with everyone around you, and there's the fence there, and you can see Alphonse's mansion behind you. All of a sudden, you're standing in like a gray space, and the winds are kind of ripping past you, and it feels like there are others in the space around you, but it's hard to tell. You don't see anyone, and this space looks like the mists kind of remind you of, like it reminds you of the mists that you travel through, but like the mists are moving very rapidly, almost to the point where they aren't even mists anymore, just like streaks of gray. And then, with you missing, Alphonse will move over here. He twists his mustache and laughs. This guard is going to move here, and 2 guards will attack Lyra, and 1 will attack Dizzy. No, where is Dizzy? Yes, Dizzy, sorry.
oh, you're good.
All right, so the 2 on Lyra hit, miss, and the 1 on Dizzy is a 17.
Oh, that hits, yeah.
All right, that is 7 slashing, and Lyra will take 7.
I'm assuming Lyra's probably not looking too good.
Oh, you know what? I forgot to roll Lyra's turn. She's just been standing there. She definitely has been wounded. Let me get her into the actual game. Sorry about that. All right. So all that just happens. Dizzy, what do you do?
I'm actually gonna cast Dissonant Whispers on Alphonse.
On Alphonse. All right. So he needs to make a wisdom save. Wisdom save 13.
Yes.
All right, so he needs to roll an 11 or higher. Got an 18. But he takes half that damage. He just doesn't run away. So he will take 9.
Which I think is more than well, it's not more than I could do with my rapier, but it's still good. But I'm gonna use my bonus action. To do expend one of my bardic inspirations to cast unsettling words on him.
Oh, what does that do?
It says bonus act choose one creature you can see within 60 feet. Roll the bardic inspiration die. Creature must subtract the number rolled from the next saving throw it makes before the start of your turn.
Gotcha. Okay. Why don't you roll that, and then I'll mark it so I remember, hopefully. 2. It's any saving throw?
Yes.
Okay. Perfect.
Hopefully he has to make a saving throw before my next turn.
I guess we shall see. Twiggy, what do you do?
Okay, continuing on my little murder flight here. Ah. Now, is disarm is an action, right?
Yes.
I'll try and disarm him of that jawbone.
Okay. Why don't we do a contested, kind of like a grapple? So you
See
roll.
here, and I'm raging, so that gives me advantage.
It does on your athletics check.
I'm so mad. And then I'm mad again. Even better.
All right, so I need to roll a 15 to match you. Oh.
That's lame.
You grab it and you almost get it out of his hand before he realizes you're there, and then he just clamps down on it.
Well, he can also make an attack of opportunity if he wishes, as I flit away.
Okay. He will take a swipe with the dagger.
Okay.
And is going to miss terribly.
Bummer.
Yes.
Come on, hit me. Hit me.
Stop trying to hit me, just hit me.
Hit me.
Anything else?
Oh, does that I don't think is an attack, so I think that would drop me out of rage, wouldn't it? I think so.
Yeah, because you didn't take any damage.
Let's see here. Unconscious, or if you haven't attacked a hostile or taken damage, yeah. And because that's not an attack, that was a disarm. So I am no longer raged.
Okay.
All right. Rules.
Lilith,
All right,
the
that's
wind rips past you, your hair is flying. Make a perception check for me. You definitely notice some figures moving through the mists around you as they go ripping past, but you're not really sure what they are. Some of them kind of hunker down, but they're not, like, you can't make it out any details. That's your
method.
You can, yeah, you can like zoom out, but there's not like a
hey, you guys.
yeah. Any action that you want to take in here is completely fine.
I think Lilith is just going to pray to her deity at this point.
Okay.
Because if she doesn't feel like Lilith isn't actively being attacked, right?
Right.
So she's not feeling a need to fight. She's been through this kind of before, so I think Lilith is just gonna start praying.
Okay.
To her deity for answers.
do a wisdom saving throw for me.
Sweet.
So you say your prayer, seeking guidance, seeking maybe some intervention. You're not really sure. Like, nothing happens, but, you often don't see signs of these things unless it's in the form of your spells. So, anything else? All right, so Lyra is going to make up for her standing around for so long and do some attacks. She's going to get some extra attacks on this turn, just because, not because I forgot about it. She doesn't get advantage. Oh, she does get advantage of this one. So she crits on this guy and then hits him again. So we've got 16. That is that one. Yeah, she just like takes both of her daggers, jumps up like on his chest and like with her knees, and as she's like driving him to the ground with the force of it, just jabs both daggers into his neck. When she stands up and pulls them out, he is no longer moving.
Sweet.
He is still fairy fired, but he is down. And that will be her turn. Alphonse glares at Lyra and moves over here. He's going to take a swipe at Lyra with the jawbone and at Dizzy with the dagger. So jawbone, dagger. It's 21 to hit Dizzy.
Oh yeah, that's definitely a hit.
All right, so not a crit this time, so just that plus 8 piercing damage. And you notice that he... What'd you say?
Oh, I just said okay.
I thought you said you're down. I'm like, what?
Oh no, I've still got maybe... I've got 1 crit or maybe 2 hits left in me.
You do notice that as the dagger swipes across your chest and like leaves a thin trail of blood, Alphonse's injuries that he got from Lilith, I think, seem to heal up some.
Uh-oh. What a jerk.
And then this fellow is dead. This one is alive. We're gonna get 1 guard on Lilith or Lyra and 1 guard on Dizzy. So first one on Lyra, it's an 11 and a 13 on Dizzy.
13 misses.
All right. What do you do in response, Dizzy?
Okay, would I be able to like snag the jawbone from him, or
You can do the same thing that Twiggy tried to do and essentially do a disarm. It's your athletics versus their... It's like a grapple, essentially.
okay?
But it would be your action.
Could I swing at his hand to try to make him drop the jawbone, or...
Sure, I'm going to raise his armor class a little since you're like doing a called shot. I miss called shots from 3rd edition.
Yeah.
So I'm going to raise your AC just a little, his AC a little bit, and if you hit, then he'll do a save on whether he drops it.
Okay, sounds good.
And that'll be based on how much damage you do. All right.
Does that hit?
So the 19 is going to hit. And you do 5 piercing. So he needs to do a 13 or better. Sorry, 15 or better. And his bonus is 2. So I got to get a 13 on this roll. 4. The jawbone goes clattering to the ground.
Okay.
Do you want to grab it?
Oh, can I? Am I still
You
able to
have
do
your interact with object, like your free interaction. You can
Yeah.
absolutely grab it.
that? I will grab it and just take it.
Okay, and you did the jawbone, right? Not the dagger.
The jawbone, yeah.
Okay, so you grab the jawbone. Are you staying where you are?
Yes.
Okay. Twiggy. Dizzy now has the jawbone.
Let's see here. Well, let's chuck a boomerang at Alphonse's head.
Okay.
A good thing to do. Yeah.
That will hit.
So,
Oh, you know what? Dizzy.
What?
Sorry. You re-roll again because you might get a crit, and Dizzy also re-roll because you might get a crit because he has fairy fire on him. Nice.
I hit harder.
So Dizzy, your attack actually did more damage. So that was 5 to 12, so 7 more. Okay. And then you do 7 with your excuse me, your attack, Twiggy.
Yep.
And then your boomerang comes back because it hit something, or it has to miss.
So it comes back if it misses.
Okay.
Because it hit him, it'll drop unceremoniously here. I want to get back over here so I can keep an eye on this doppelganger.
Okay.
And also if Dizzy wants to do a super awesome football play where we exit quickly with that thing.
Gotcha.
He did consider throwing it to you.
Yeah, well, I'm positioning myself just in case. I'll just kind of harry them from kind of in the circle back and forth. And that's it.
Okay. I'm over here. Open. I'm open. Lilith, what do you do?
Oh boy. Is there any way, like, does anything look familiar to me at all?
Not really. Every so often you feel like you see like stone or brickwork or something in the distance, like ruins or something, but you're not really seeing anything familiar whatsoever.
Okay. I'm going to light a sacred flame, sit down, and continue my chanting.
Okay. So the sacred flame is the one that deals damage. It just like is a yeah.
I'm gonna just light a flame because I have it as part of my theme.
Gotcha.
Campfire style.
So
sit
yeah,
down
you summon like a little campfire next to you, and you sit down. Anything else?
And can I cure wounds in here?
Absolutely.
For
Yeah.
myself? I'm gonna cast a cure wounds on myself.
Sounds good.
All
When you're
right.
done with that, make me a wisdom saving throw.
Oh, fabulous! Just fabulous.
You like hunker down, you cure yourself, and as your wounds start to knit together, you reappear sitting on the ground next to a guard. Alphonse is over here now, like has moved away from you. But you are back in the world.
Huh. Can I tell where Dizzy and Twiggy have gone?
You do see Dizzy directly in front of you. It's harder to see Twiggy's. Did I say Dizzy? Dizzy's right in front of you. Twiggy is harder to notice.
Okay.
So that was the end of your turn. At the top of the turn, Lyra, feeling bloodthirsty from her kill last turn, is going to take a swipe at the she has advantage. She's gonna swing at the glowing form of Alphonse.
Well,
Well, she had advantage, so 22 will hit, doing 12 points of damage. Alphonse seems to be pretty wounded at this point. And he actually disengages, so when he moves away, no one gets any opportunity attacks. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And he kind of like starts stumbling back towards the mansion. As he's like, "Stop them!" to the guards. So with that, this one moves. Nope, he doesn't. One is going to attack Lyra, not noticing that Lilith is sitting behind him, and the other is going to attack Dizzy. So Lyra's misses, Dizzy's is a 20.
That hits, yeah.
All right, so that is 7 slashing. So Dizzy, you notice that he disengaged and ran off, kind of shoving one of the guards in between the two of you so you couldn't take a stab at him. He's running towards the house, or kind of stumbling towards the house, whereas these guards are standing their ground trying to... One just hits you. What do you do?
I'm gonna throw the jawbone to Twiggy.
Okay.
Okay. And
Roll.
Okay. What were you gonna say?
Roll strength or athletics if you're proficient. Oh, you do throw it, but it's going to land about here.
Okay.
It's
that's
very...
better than I thought it was.
Yeah, it lands about halfway in between you. It's very light, like brittle bone, although you've seen it like stab somebody and it didn't bend. It seems like there's something to it that makes it hardy, but it's definitely not very heavy whatsoever. Let me just draw a little... Oh, let's see if there's a token for a jawbone. Anything else?
That was my action, right?
You know what? I'll give that to you as your interact with object, because all you're doing is that.
Alright, well, I will cast Dissonant Whispers again.
Okay. Which fella are you casting
Alphonse.
it on? Oh, nice, because he's still in range, right?
Yep.
I don't see a jawbone, so it's going to be this. That's the jawbone. Alphonse is going to make a wisdom saving throw. Let me just double check. He needs a... Wisdom is... Sorry. So he needs 11 or better. And he fails. Roll your... Oh, and you already got your damage.
Yep.
I was going to say, does he get that -2? But that was until the start of your turn, right? Not that it mattered. He grabs his head and like almost goes down onto his knees, and then he has to flee. Is that correct?
Mm-hmm.
At his running or his movement pace, right? So he is actually 3 spots off the map. Just to remind everyone.
Okay.
He's just stumbling. Like there's actually you see kind of like this dark liquid that's like maybe a little thicker than blood, just kind of like pouring out of his ear, a little bit out of his nose. That definitely hurt him to the point that he's having a hard time standing up. Anything else?
That's all. That's all I'll do.
Okay. Twiggy, Dizzy threw the jawbone. It just like it went through the air, but it didn't look like like a football goes through the air. No, you probably don't know what a football looks like, Twiggy.
We play
Like
football in the Feywild all the time,
But what do you play with?
Feet.
So like when you were like throwing a foot, how it has like some weight to it, and it kind of like spirals. This was just more like it flew forward and then just kind of started spinning and fluttering to the ground. Not like a feather would, but it didn't seem to have enough heft to get to you. Meanwhile, Alphonse is running away, seems to be quite injured, and there are 2 guards still engaged. What do you do?
I'll collect the jawbone.
Okay.
And then so it'll be put over here, and then let's see here. This guy's not moving very fast, right?
No. If anything, it just seemed like he got away from the combat and is currently like watching Alphonse and it looks like he's trying to decide which way to go.
All right, well, I'll collect the jawbone and tell him we'll be with you in a second. Don't go anywhere. Or else. We will stab this guy.
Okay.
There we go. Well, think about stabbing that guy.
I mean, you stab towards him.
Yeah, in the general vicinity.
And there's like a clang as your rapier like hits the gorget, something, the metal thing around his neck.
And then I'll look over at Lyra, actually, and do a head gesture towards Alphonse, and say, "Got a job that needs to be finished." That'll be that.
She grins like one of her sadistic smiles at you and looks like she's getting ready to head that way. Lilith, you're sitting there. There's your fire is nowhere to be seen. However, your spiritual hammer is still hanging there, and you are back in this realm. What would you like to do?
Do I see Alphonse?
You do see Alphonse. He's 15 feet further than it shows on the map, but he is heading towards the mansion. Looks like he's kind of stumbling, bleeding, not looking good whatsoever.
I'd like to hit him with a spiritual weapon, and I've got up to 60 feet with that.
Okay, so this one will disappear, and you want to have the other one appear next to him?
Yeah.
Nope. All right, and the 21 will hit.
Awesome.
He takes another couple of steps as your hammer shows up next to him, and then there's just the sickening crunch as he falls to the ground.
What a jerkus.
What a jerkus.
I'm gonna make sure to get up and head his way.
Pretty sure that is a scientific term, by the way. Jerkus.
It is.
So you could get to there. Actually, because that was your bonus action.
Yeah.
And then getting up and moving would be your movement. You still have an action.
Yes. I would like to... How close am I?
You would actually be able to walk up
Okay.
next to him.
I am going to go ahead and do that, and I'm going to swipe him with my mace.
Just like hit his body.
Yeah, I'm just gonna hit his, like, just really make sure, like, are you dead? Are you sure you're dead?
As you get closer, you notice that his form is no longer that of Alphonse, but has that like purple rubbery hide. There's definitely a lot of wounds on it, and there's like a dented in skull from your spiritual hammer, and then you just like smush his head in with your mace.
Yep.
He's not
Seems
getting
right.
up from that one.
Seems right. Okay. And then I'm gonna walk back to everybody.
So that would have been the rest of your movement to get there.
Then I'm gonna like, hey guys.
So Lyra looks at Lilith and what she just did, and looks at Twiggy and like shrugs, and goes to stab the guard that's in between, or that's engaged with Dizzy as well. She wants that sneak attack. The 20. Oh no, she doesn't have advantage on this one. She misses though. She was so getting ready to run towards Alphonse and take him out that her footing is a little off, and she misses. Alphonse lays there, and there's a little bit of blood that kind of squirts out the side of his head. And then this fellow is going to take a swing at... Actually, both of them are going to try and hit Lyra at this point. Do. And both will miss, as she definitely dodges their dastardly... What's a word for attack that starts with D?
Dervish.
Sure, they're dastardly dervishes. Dizzy, what do you do? Today's episode
let's
brought to you
see.
by the letter D.
I will swing at the one between Lyra and myself.
Okay. Ooh, yep, that'll hit.
Wait, is it not showing the damage?
It isn't, but here, let me see if I can... Oh, there it goes.
Oh, there it is. That's not much.
Yeah, that crit roll was kind of pooey. But this guy's been injured, so it actually looks like it's brought him quite a bit closer to death's door. If my math is correct. Yeah, he's not looking good. Anything else?
No, that's all I'm gonna do.
Okay. So, Twiggy, you have the jawbone. This fellow is looking pretty bad off. The one above him is also looking pretty rough, but not nearly as bad. Looks like Alphonse is down. What do you do?
And this doppelganger is staying put, yeah?
The one behind you?
Mm-hmm.
You actually do notice because he moves just before you, he's made it to about... he's skirting that guy to there. Looks like he's heading towards the mansion as well.
Interesting. I'm gonna stab. Little stab in action.
That'll stab.
Do 6 points.
And that is enough to take that one down.
We're gonna just flit over here and be like, "Where are you going? What are you doing?"
Are you flitting in a way that would give that fellow an attack of opportunity on you?
Is the other guy down?
This one?
Well, I mean, I was here. If I go around here, should be fine. Yeah.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yep, you'd be just fine. Perfect. I didn't know if you were trying to get him to use his reaction.
No. I'm not raging hard enough to be like, yes, please hit me in the face. But no, I'm in the please don't hit me in the face mode at the moment.
So Lilith, you notice that the doppelganger that's glitching, that can't seem to hold its form, is heading towards the gate, and you, Twiggy, has flown over and seems to be joining that one. There's one guard still up, engaged with Lyra, and Dizzy is over there as well, having just dropped one. Or
Lilith is going to go to the last guard, and let's go ahead and still bust out that spiritual weapon and hit the guard. Let's see here.
So you have to dash to get there, but with your spiritual weapon, you can attack as a bonus. The 12's going to miss, however.
Yeah. Okay.
All right. That's all right. Lyra's got this. She tosses her head, like rubs her nose, gets her daggers ready. Tabs over to the right character sheet. Swipe! And will hit. And because she gets a sneak of damage... Not quite enough to drop him, but she, like, gets him in the gut right under the ribs, like, lifts up a little. You see him almost leave his feet. Not looking well. The guard, like, looks around and drops his sword, disengages, and goes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and gets to there. Dizzy, what do you do?
I'm gonna try to hit him with this netless spear.
Sure. It's gonna go off, and as the psychic force lashes his brains, how does he die?
Just in an explosion of the black gunk.
This one actually explodes in red gunk as opposed to black gunk,
okay.
But yeah, there is a gunky explosion as his head erupts from within. Looking around, you don't see anyone that's being hostile. The shifting doppelganger is trudging towards the house, however. Do you want to stay in combat, or do you want to go out of combat? It doesn't look like he's being violent towards any of you.
We don't need to be in combat, right?
Okay. Well, then I will halt our battle music and go back to weird music, paradigm music. Okay. What do you do?
I mean, do we want to let the glitchy one go back to the manse? Because that's kind of weird.
Yeah, let's grab him.
Okay.
We
Yeah.
still have questions.
So the person that we killed is a different Alphonse, or is it the same Alphonse that we knew before?
Do you want to go look? Like, try and figure it out?
Yeah, I wanna look and try to figure it out.
So you walk over there and you look down, and, like, this doppelganger's head is just paste. Someone might have got a little overzealous smashing it. But you could do a medicine check at disadvantage to try and see if there's any signs on the body that would, because you saw Alphonse in his true form. Maybe there's something that would reveal. You don't notice anything. Like, it's actually really kind of hard to tell. The body's very smooth.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay, it was worth a shot.
As you're standing there, though, you do notice that there are eyes staring at you from inside the manor. Looks like there are some guards and like the house workers and such. They're kind of peering through curtains. No one has opened the door yet, but it does look like there are more people inside. Do you want to investigate more or call it for this week, because we are actually past our typical end time?
think I
Celeste
have
says whatever. What's that?
she's okay for now. It would be cool to investigate. I mean, really, we need to figure out what these like glitchy creatures are all about, and we shouldn't just let them walk away. Like, where's the answers?
Okay. Why don't we do this? Why don't we so that'll be your first thing that you do next week. So that is your intent to ask the glitchy fellow what is going on, why are these things happening, and what is there to be done. Perfect. All right. Well, awesome. I'm glad that went the way it did. I felt like the dice were maybe not going to be your friends for a little bit there. But if you're watching live, hey, thanks for watching us today. Join us next week at 2:30 p.m. Eastern on Wednesday, just before New Year's Eve. Is that everybody good for next week? I know Anna might not be able to join us. Cool. So yeah, we should be here next week. Have a good, safe holiday this weekend. If you are in the frozen path of what's coming through at least Colorado and Wyoming, please stay warm. It's supposed to be very, very chilly. And everyone else be safe as well. And we'll see you next time. Bye.
Happy holidays.
Keep waving, keep waving, keep waving.
Oh, wow.
Say bye-bye.